I got fucking jump scared by a lizard a little while ago.
On January 2nd, 2024, a 13-year-old player by the name of Blue Scooty achieved what was long thought to be impossible: beating NES Tetris. After playing for almost 40 minutes straight with over 1,500 total lines cleared, Blue Scooty was able to crash the game with a single line clear on level 157. Now, you've probably already heard this story before. It's been spoken about by numerous popular YouTubers within and outside of the Tetris community. Popular Tetris creator, a Game Scout, made a video on the topic that reached over 10 million views in just 2 weeks. Even major news channels were picking up the story when it happened.
The 13-year-old gamer who achieved something that was unthinkable for decades.
The first person to ever beat Tetris since the game's release more than 30 years ago.
This was truly a remarkable achievement that single-handedly revitalized the Tetris community. Many of the top players began grinding away to try and match Blue Scooty, and a few of them managed to pull it off, namely Fractal and Pixel Andy.
6, 7, 8, 9.
There are people playing.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Yes, bro. Yes.
Holy hand.
It's safe to say there's been more hype surrounding classic Tetris now than in its entire 35-year history. And while many people are excited and looking forward to the future of classic
Mama
Tetris,
on her
this achievement
own.
inspired me to take a look back
Okay.
at how far the scene has come and who helped it get to where we are now. Before the rolling method took over the game, before a hyper-tapping prodigy inspired a new
I
generation
believe it
of
is
young players.
worth getting some defense in so we
Even
can get
before
some
a guy named Jeff was
enter,
moving
but
down Tetrises like it was his
my
day
deck
job.
was designed to
Alright,
not need a
well,
lot of
Tetris and
enter
Jeff
to
taking
begin
the
with,
lead.
so
Today, I'd like to pay tribute
depend
to the
on whether or
greatest
not
and
it's
most
worth
influential
committing
classic Tetris
things
player of all
pointlessly,
time.
I
The
suppose.
7-time world champion who pioneered the classic Tetris
Well,
scene
we'll
and
see
became a
soon enough
global
whether or not
ambassador
it
for the
matters or
game.
not.
A man
I'll
who
go with my
embodied
gut.
the spirit and passion of the Tetris community
My gut
better than
always
anyone
says
else,
put in
and whose
defenses.
name will continue to be remembered the bigger the scene grows. This is the story of Jonas Neubauer.
It's probably just good stuff. For their signies.
Jonas Neubauer
Yu-Gi-Oh's
was
a
born
lot
on
of
April
fun, but
19,
man, does it take a lot
1981,
of
in
time.
Redondo Beach, California.
I
Son
played
to Sherry and
one
Ed
game,
Neubauer, Jonas was the
an
youngest
entire
of 3
hour
brothers.
passed, and I didn't notice.
Jonas was an active kid.
And
He
like,
grew up sailing
that
with
was
his
the
dad in
problem.
King Harbor and
Yu-Gi-Oh
playing Little
games,
League
they
baseball.
take a while, man.
He discovered
Jesus.
Tetris at 6 years old, playing it for the
And I'm
first
the one
time
who
on his uncle's
proliferates
computer.
that in this modern day and
He
age.
instantly fell in love with the game and would play at any chance he
Media
could,
entertainment
saying it
should
was
be
the most
respecting
awesome
our
thing he'd
time.
ever seen. Tetris is a game with a very simple concept: score as many points as possible. To do so, you must use the various blocks, called tetronymos, to create solid lines that fill the entire screen. This is called a line clear. The most
I don't
effective way
believe
to
I'll
score points
get a
is
better
to use the
chance.
long bar to clear 4 lines at once. This is called a Tetris.
Oh, that's a lie,
The main
but
strategy for making Tetrises
it's
is
never
to
a
build a
wrong
wall of
decision
pieces on the
to
left side of the board while leaving a
activate
well
that
on the right side of the
early.
screen for a long bar to fall into. In newer games, you're guaranteed a long bar every 13 pieces, worst case scenario. In the original Tetris, the order of the pieces is always random, each having a 1 in 7 chance of falling. This makes the original Tetris unique and inherently more difficult, as players have to adapt at all times to the pieces
What in
they
the
receive.
actual hell is this?
An extended period of time without a long bar is called a drought, which can severely impact your ability to survive in the later levels.
But Jeff with a 59-60 piece, my goodness, look at that drought, unbelievable! A 64-piece drought.
The game ends when a piece reaches the top of the screen from too many mistakes or by reaching the kill screen, where the pieces fall too fast to continue playing. At age 9, Jonas saved up enough allowance money to buy Tetris for the NES. He'd take turns playing against his dad, increasing his high score all the way up to 176,000 points.
He scored pretty well. I think his highest games were about 200,000, and when I was like 10 or 11, I was scoring around then, and then I kind of left him in the dust, unfortunately.
That's
The
surprising.
first time he reached level 19 and saw the speeds he was up against, it became an addiction. Jonas played Tetris every day for hours, all the way up until high school. Jonas's dedication and work ethic to the game was undeniable, even from a young age. Jonas gained some local fame in his senior year of high school when he would invite his friends over to watch him play Tetris.
I remember the first time that I watched Jonas play. And I'm watching, and I was like, dude, Jonas is really good at Tetris.
He was already putting up scores of up to 700,000 points, something that was unheard of at the time. Jonas would continue to play Tetris throughout university, and began posting his scores online in the early 2000s on old Tetris message boards. Jonas would post a picture of his first max out
Hilarious.
score in 2002. NES Tetris only recorded up to 6 digits of score, so maxing out the game referred to a player reaching 999,999 points. In September of 2008, Jonas would post the first ever max out score with video proof on his YouTube channel. Although the quality of the video is extremely poor, it shows Jonas playing from level 19 until hitting the eventual kill screen. This accomplishment cemented Jonas as one of the best classic Tetris players in the world.
Best in America.
In 2009,
Classic
Tetris
Tetris is
player
still
Harry
mostly an
Hong became
American
the
thing.
first man to successfully achieve a verified max out of the original Tetris game. This achievement would inspire filmmaker Adam Cornelius to produce a short documentary on Harry called Max Out, and launch a Kickstarter campaign to help him document the competitive Tetris world.
He left Wells.
This
Yikes.
Kickstarter campaign would draw a lot of attention, eventually reaching a man by the name of Robin Mahara. Robin had competed as a child in the Nintendo World Championships back in 1990, where the first organized Tetris tournament took place. He would place third behind eventual winner 14-year-old Thor Ackerland. Inspired by Adam's documentary, the two would team up to search for other Tetris masters around the country, filming their journey along the way. They would spend the next few months putting on small tournaments, as well as gathering old CRT TVs and copies of the game to organize a live tournament. It would be known as the Classic Tetris World Championships. Word of this tournament would eventually reach Jonas, and he was invited to fly down to California to compete in it. He would be joined by a few other notable Tetris masters, like fellow max-out player Harry Hong, Ben Mullen, who was the world record holder for most lines cleared at the time, Tetris Grandmaster Alex Kerr, and Thor Ackerland himself, returning to defend his crown after 20 years. The event itself was commentated by Chris Tang, a fellow Nintendo World Championship competitor and multi-arcade game record holder. The first tournament's format consisted of 8 of the world's best players, each competing in 3 rounds of Tetris. The first round was a competition to score the most lines, and the next 2 rounds were to score the most points. The top 2 players would then compete against one another in a best-of-3 series in the grand finals. Jonas performed well enough in the group stage to make it into the finals, where he'd face fellow max-out player Harry Hong for the title. Jonas would prevail in a 2-0 sweep to become the first ever Classic Tetris World Champion. A documentary was later released titled Ecstasy of Order: The Tetris Masters, produced by Adam and Robin. It's a fantastic and informative film that takes you through how the first Tetris World Championship came to be. I highly recommend you watch it in the description below. Jonas would return in 2011 to defend his CTWC title. The format had been changed to an 8-man single elimination bracket, with each match being a best of 3. Jonas would once again reach the finals, and he would be met by fellow competitor Alex Kerr, who managed to defeat Harry Hong in the other semifinal. Jonas swept Alex in the finals to become the first back-to-back Tetris World Champion.
NES Tetris World Champion.
2012 was a year of change for Jonas. He was offered a part-time job at his local bar, Strand Brewing Company, and decided to take it. His work ethic and good nature let him quickly work his way up to taproom manager. This career change led him to meet his future wife, Heather Ito. The pair were introduced by the bar owner, and it turned out to be a match made in heaven. 2012 was also a year of change for the Tetris scene. The tournament was moved to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, where it has remained to this day. The quality of the tournament had also improved, in both the number of competitors and quality of play. The tournament format was expanded to a 32-person single elimination bracket. Each match would be a best of 3, and the grand finals would be a best of 5. Despite all the changes, this was perhaps Jonas's most dominant tournament win ever. Jonas would beat every opponent he faced without losing a single game on his way to a 3rd straight Tetris crown.
And we have the results. For the 3rd year in a row, your champion, Jonas Neubauer.
2013 saw a rematch of the first World Championships, as Jonas faced Harry Hong in the finals. It started out rough for Jonas, as 2 quick top-outs gave Harry a 2-0 lead. But Jonas rallied and reeled off 2 victories of his own. The last game saw Harry get an untimely drought right as the game reached level 19. It was an extremely close, back-and-forth match, but ultimately Jonas would prevail 3 games to 2, securing his 4th straight Tetris title and a new Tetris-themed trophy to go along with it.
Jonas Neubauer.
At this point, people were in awe of Jonas. It felt like he was unbeatable, like he had some deeper understanding of the game. His decision-making was quick and precise. He performed difficult tucks and spins at will, and he could survive misdrops and long droughts without breaking a sweat. Put simply, he was just a level above any other Tetris player in the world. Winning 4 straight world titles in Tetris would make anyone arrogant. And yet, Jonas remained humble. He was charming and friendly to everyone. He was the guy you wanted to hate so badly, but you just couldn't. Instead, he inspired people to pick up the game for themselves, in hopes of one day taking his crown.
I'm glad I'm playing Jonas, because I would hate to lose to anybody else.
Yeah.
I love Jonas.
Yeah.
In 2014, Jonas would return to Portland to go for a 5th straight title. He blasted through his first 4 matches, sweeping every opponent on his way to the finals. He faced Harry in the finals for the 3rd time, and found himself playing from behind again. Down 2-1, Jonas found himself behind in score early in Game 4. He was struggling to set up Tetrises on the faster level 19 speeds, and began dropping pieces in awkward places. After almost a full minute of scrambling, trying desperately to recover his board, Jonas topped out.
It looks like we have a new champion for the first time, Harry Hong!
Jonas was humble in defeat. He immediately went over and congratulated Harry, and joined the crowd in applause as Harry lifted the trophy. After the tournament, Jonas considered retiring from Tetris. He was satisfied with his accomplishments and his impact on the community, and he felt a little burned out of the game. Fortunately, his fiancée Heather convinced him to come back for another year. Jonas was not done winning just yet.
Damn, didn't think that would backfire.
2015 was a big year for Jonas. He married the love of his life, Heather, and the two officially tied the knot in Hawaii. 2015 also marked a huge step up in quality for the CTWC. It was the first year the tournament was organized by Trey Harrison. Trey had been participating in the CTWC since its inception in 2010, and took it upon himself to improve the production value of the tournament. Trey developed a sleek new UI system, which gave the tournament a more modern and professional look. You were able to clearly see each player's board, score, level, line count, and match counter in HD resolution. Trey also introduced many quality of life features to make the matches digestible for new players. A second score was added under the main total, showing how far ahead or behind each player was at any moment. Droughts of over 12 pieces would be shown until the next long bar came. The biggest change, however, was the decision to pre-arrange piece sets for each game in the tournament. This made it so that the players facing one another would have the exact same pieces, making the game both fairer and more exciting. 2015 also marked the creation of the Classic Tetris YouTube channel, and the first time the tournament games were posted on YouTube. Jonas started off strong, sweeping his first 3 matches of the tournament. In the semifinals, he faced Alex Kerr. Down almost 130,000 points in the first game of the match, Jonas clawed his way back to a 40,000 point deficit. Unfortunately, a few unlucky pieces made him top out right before the kill screen, giving Alex game number 1.
Alex takes the round.
Game 2 saw the reverse happen. Jonas took an early lead of 100,000 points and never looked back.
A sigh of relief from Jonas.
The third game was more the same. Jonas took a commanding lead into level 19, and Alex topped out, giving Jonas his 6th straight finals appearance. This high-level match would be the first Tetris video to reach 1 million views on YouTube, and was the first hint of the explosion that was soon to come in the Tetris community. It currently stands at just over 10 million views. Jonas would meet finals newcomer Quaid for the Tetris title. Despite dropping a close game in the set,
Quaid!
Jonas would cruise to a 3-1 victory and reclaim his world champion status for the 5th time.
And we have our winner. And Jonas Neubauer is your 2015 Classic Tetris World Champion.
2015 was a great year for both the Tetris community and for Jonas. But 2016 turned out to be even better. The tournament was streamed live on Twitch for the very first time, introducing a whole new audience to the competitive scene. Many new players from all parts of the world came to compete in the tournament, most notably of which was Corion, a Japanese player who had recently transitioned from Tetris the Grandmaster to Classic Tetris, streaming his progress on Twitch. Corion had a unique playstyle known as hyper-tapping, which was originally used by Thor Ackerman to win the Nintendo World Championships. Up until this point, the only real playstyle used in Classic Tetris was called the DAS method. This method involved continuously holding down left or right on the D-pad to move the pieces at the game's auto-shift speed of 6 frames. Hyper-tapping involved rapidly tapping the D-pad more than 10 times per second to move the pieces quicker than 6 frames. While this method was extremely difficult, its advantages were worth it. Corion was able to pull off moves that no other player was capable of, which let him play much more aggressively and score much higher. Corion was the favorite to win it heading into CTWC 2016, and Jonas would end up facing him in the semifinals. Jonas's play was efficient and aggressive, and he got ahead early in both games. 2 untimely droughts at the faster speeds would cause Corian to tap out, and Jonas secured a 2-0 sweep. In the finals, Jonas would face another first-timer, dark horse and fan favorite Jeff Moore.
Boom, Tetris for Jeff.
Jeff's impressive play continued into the finals as he took the first game off of Jonas.
And Jeff takes our first round.
But Jonas would bounce back, winning the next 2 games fairly comfortably. The 4th game of the match was one of the highest scoring in tournament history, with both players securing over 740,000 points. Jonas held the lead for the majority of the game, but Jeff stayed close behind and was able to get within 1 Tetris as the kill screen approached.
Oh, close. Really close. 1 away.
With only 2 lines left, Jeff had 1 more chance to make a Tetris, but he couldn't put one together, giving Jonas his 6th CTWC title.
Now, 6-time world champion, Jonas Neubauer!
The finals between Jeff and Jonas would go viral on YouTube, amassing over 5 million views in a month and spawning the iconic parody video Boom Tetris for Jeff.
Wow! Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Scores are neck and neck.
This is a very neck and neck match.
This viral meme kickstarted a growing appetite for competitive Tetris, especially for a younger audience. In early 2017, Jonas began streaming on Twitch with his wife Heather. While it first started out as a way to teach new players how to play the game,
Tetris is
all they need is another Troy.
Decision making.
Jonas and Heather were quickly able to build an extremely supportive and dedicated community of both viewers and fellow players.
Didn't have any.
A lot of people knew Jonas just as an amazing Tetris player, but streaming allowed for Jonas's charm, humor, and good nature to really shine through.
It's not fair to deny me.
He'd always take the time to make everyone feel welcome and appreciated, saying hi to each person who came into the stream. The dynamic between Jonas and Heather was infectious. They were able to spread both positivity and joy just by fooling around and having fun, doing challenges together and interacting with their community.
Heather, can you tell us more about that?
Yes, thanks, Jonas. I'm here live on the scene.
Jonas was delighted to see the growth of the Tetris community, and was always grateful for the support he received. Streaming and playing Tetris became a big part of Jonas's identity. It also helped him improve significantly, since he was playing Tetris all throughout the year instead of just a couple months before the tournament. That practice paid off big time in 2017. In perhaps the most stacked bracket to date, Jonas cruised through to yet another final, where he faced veteran player Alex Kerr once again. In the first game, Jonas would fall behind almost 170,000 points after a few uncharacteristic misdrops. Jonas turned on the aggression and managed to claw all the way back to take the first game.
And Jonas has taken the lead and manages to win.
The second game was back and forth until a drought forced Alex to top out with just a small lead. Jonas almost shared the same fate, but managed to survive with clutch piece placement really high up on the board.
2 more lines to do it, and that's gonna do it right there, Jonas!
He would take the second game and close out the match in the third to win his 7th CTWC title.
There it is! Jonas is your champion, 2017 champion.
Wow.
This would be Jonas's final title in the competition. Jonas continued streaming throughout 2018. The classic Tetris scene had exploded on Twitch, with many top players streaming their attempts at world records for score and highest level. Jonas would end up achieving the world record for highest score in June of 2018, with a total of 1,245,200 points.
Oh, let's go! Get out of my face!
Jonas knew that the Tetris scene was growing rapidly, so he took it upon himself to raise awareness for the game. Jonas did interviews promoting the CTWC for popular news websites like Vice and Rolling Stone. He even flew to Hong Kong in August to take part in an exhibition match against Corian.
The best.
This match would be one of the highest scoring best-of-5 matches ever played, with Jonas eventually losing 3 games to 2. 2018 was the year that Jonas truly became a global ambassador for Tetris and the CTWC. In 2018, the quality of play had increased tenfold since the previous year. The crowd had almost doubled in size, and there were more people playing the game than ever before. The tournament bracket was increased to 40 players. In qualifying, a record 7 people managed to max out the game, with a few people, including Jonas, managing multiple max outs. In bracket play, Jonas looked fantastic as he dominated his first 3 matches en route to yet another semi-final. There, he would face newcomer Green Tea, a Japanese player who had quickly become a fan favorite and had Tetris skills on par with Corian. The first game was a high-level match that saw both players reach the kill screen with scores of over 850,000 points. Fortunately, Jonas was able to hold on by just 1 Tetris.
Didn't want to have to clear those lines. He was just outside of the range. Jonas is going to do it by 1 Tetris.
In Game 2,
Wait, why didn't they activate
Jonas
this?
got into some trouble after the transition and was forced into survival mode. He struggled for almost 2 minutes before finally topping out, giving Green Tea the second game.
But he might be able to survive.
Actually, oh no, not that. After that
he
one, he's not going to
gives
do
it
it.
up.
And guess what? Green Tea has tied it up. It is 1-1 here.
Jonas took the initiative in the final match and built an enormous lead midway through. Green Tea didn't give up and mounted a comeback to put himself within 2 Tetrises of Jonas right before the kill screen. Green Tea could only muster up 1 Tetris before topping out.
And he's not going to be able to do it. Jonas is advanced. He has made it back to grand finals in one of the closest matches that we've ever seen here.
Jonas advanced to his 9th consecutive final. This was the closest anyone had ever come to beating Jonas, and it was from a player who was competing in his first ever Classic Tetris World Championship. Jonas would face off against 16-year-old newcomer Joseph Saley in the finals. Joseph had picked up NES Tetris after seeing the 2016 finals between Jonas and Jeff. Jonas watched Corian's Twitch streams and used his hand cam to develop his own style of hypertapping. As the youngest player in the tournament, all Joseph wanted to do was qualify for the bracket. Instead, Joseph managed to make it all the way to the finals, beating previous champion Harry Hong and tournament favorite Corian in the process.
Corian's in trouble.
Oh no,
Corian's in trouble.
Corian
Corian
tapped out. And guess what? Joseph is going to take it. Joseph has defeated Corian to get in the grand finals.
The last man standing in his way was the greatest to ever do it. Jonas started off strong in the first game of the
That's
final,
only until end of
but
turn,
lost
that's
control
why.
of a piece high up on his board and topped out early, giving Joseph game 1.
Jonas going down game number 1.
The second game, Joseph took an early lead all the way up to level 27, but topped out after back-to-back misdrops. Jonas was forced to set up a huge center well to try and Tetris into the kill screen, but got droughted at the worst possible moment and topped out again.
Oh my word, now there was a 25-piece drought at the end there to rob Jonas of game number 2.
Jonas was down 2-0 in the finals, something that had only ever happened once. But this was Jonas, the 7-time world champion, the greatest Tetris player of all time. He'd been in this position before, and he still came out on top. In Game 3, Jonas bounced back. In Game 3, Jonas bounced back, taking the lead early and holding on the whole way. He put up 915,000 points, his best score of the tournament so far. Joseph only had 2 more levels to go and needed 100,000 points.
Jonas
Tetris for Joseph.
And yours.
And we have a new Tetris World Champion. 16-year-old Joseph Saley has done it. Oh my goodness.
Your new classic Tetris World Champion.
Where are my
taking it away
fucking
from second-time
servants?
champion Jonas Neubauer.
Jonas was swept 3-0 in the finals. But Jonas wasn't upset. In fact, he was happy. He was able to witness firsthand how far the Tetris scene had come, and he could see the bright future ahead for the community.
Truly, truly an honor to pass the torch to the new generation of Tetris players. So,
Joseph became an overnight sensation. His upset victory brought a huge amount of media attention to the tournament, with dozens of news channels picking up the story. The 2018 finals has over 19 million views on YouTube, which to this day remains the highest viewed classic Tetris video of all time. Joseph's victory had inspired a new wave of players to pick up the game. In his post-match interview, Jonas was asked about his plans for the future. Last time he had lost in 2014, Jonas nearly retired from Tetris. This time, however, Jonas had no doubts in his mind.
Where do you see the future of Jonas Neubauer in this competition?
I see myself here next year. There's...
Watch, I'm gonna fucking draw 2 guards when it doesn't fucking matter anymore.
2019 was the best year the Tetris community had ever seen. The game experienced enormous growth, with many new players joining the community and quickly making their mark. Many of the top players were consistently streaming on Twitch, as well as competing in the classic Tetris monthly tournaments online, which brought even more eyes to the Tetris world. As for Jonas, 2019 proved to be an even crazier year as a Tetris ambassador. Jonas took part in Tetris events all around the world, including the Germany qualifiers, the Taiwan qualifiers, and the Classic Tetris European Championship. Jonas was even interviewed on SportsCenter. Coming into CTWC 2019, Jonas was glad to be out of the spotlight. While he was still one of the favorites to win the tournament, the target of world champion was no longer on his back. Jonas cruised to a 3rd seed in qualifying and came up against longtime veteran Mega Retro Man in his first round match. Jonas took the first game relatively easily after a drought forced an early top out from Mega Retro Man. Game 2 was the exact opposite, as Jonas was building very high early on but got droughted at the worst possible time and topped out.
Oh, Jonas! Oh my gosh, Jonas is topped out.
In Game 3, Jonas would again be met with back-to-back 30-piece droughts and eventually top out at only 400,000 points.
Eating a line piece desperately, and that is it! Oh my gosh!
It's not over yet.
Oh my word!
Mega Retro Man would survive through the droughts with an extremely high dirty Tetris and would eventually line out the game and upset Jonas in the very first round.
That's it! Jonas is out of the tournament in shocking fashion! And look at what it means for Mega Retro Man!
This marked the first time that Jonas had ever failed to make the CTWC finals. Joseph Saley would go on to win a 2nd straight CTWC title after defeating Corion in the finals. Jonas continued to stream alongside his wife Heather throughout 2020. Although he still played a lot of Tetris, Jonas found much more success streaming variety games like chess, The Last of Us, Life is Strange, and Jackbox party games. His Twitch stream became so popular that he was able to quit his job and stream full-time. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the 2020 Tetris World Championships were held online, which came with a few format changes. For the qualifying round, each player was given 2 hours to put up as many high-scoring games as possible. The top 64 players would then be seeded and placed into 8 groups of 8 players. Each group would play in a double elimination bracket, with the winner from each group advancing to the final top 8. The rise of hypertapping was on full display during the World Championships in 2020. There were so many new young players competing and scoring ridiculously high with the method. the level of competition had jumped even further. Jonas, however, remained a DAS player, as he was unable to tap fast enough to effectively make use of the hyper-tapping strategy. In the qualifying round, despite maxing out the game once and putting up other relatively high scores, Jonas was only seeded 31st going into the playoffs, his lowest seeding ever. Jonas's first match of the tournament was against Redshirt. It was a hard-fought, 5-game series, but a costly misdrop from Jonas in the final game gave Redshirt the win.
Oh, and he can't get the log bar, and he's gonna top out. Oh no.
This dropped Jonas into the losers bracket, where he'd have to win 5 games in a row just to qualify for top 8. Jonas would rally with dominant wins over Yanni and Blank, before avenging his loss to Redshirt with a 3-0 sweep.
Oh no, Redshirt is gonna top out, and Jonas is ahead, and Jonas is good.
Jonas then faced second seed and bracket favorite Eric in the losers bracket final. Jonas was very solid and composed throughout, and Eric was unable to handle the pressure, as he managed only 1 game against Jonas.
He can't get the long bar over, and Jonas is good.
This set Jonas up for a final
Troy's a
decider
big
match
problem,
against 18th
as
seed
usual.
Huff for a place in the top 8. Game 1 would see a near double max out for both players, with Jonas scoring 2 Tetrises in the kill screen, but still coming up short by 15,000 points.
And there's 2, but it's not gonna be enough.
Game 2 was just as close throughout, with Jonas pouring on the aggression and scoring over 950,000 points, but would yet again fall just short of the win.
Take the game off Huff, and he doesn't. And Jonas gonna top out.
Jonas would need to pull off yet another reverse sweep to win the series, and it started out well in Game 3. Huff misdropped a J piece early on and wasn't able to recover in time.
Survive that, and Jonas takes the round.
Jonas would take the lead for the majority of Game 4.
But now he's having to build his Spire in the middle, and Jonas is gonna top out. Jonas tops out.
A Spire in the middle of his stack would spell his doom once he transitioned to level 19. Jonas would lose the match 3-1 and be eliminated in 9th place. In the post-match interview, Jonas was all smiles, praising Huff for his amazing performance and getting emotional discussing how far the community had come.
I'm just kind of a part of it now. Like, I'm telling you, in 2018, when Joseph showed us what he can do, I wasn't kidding when I said pass the torch. It's really these guys' tournament, and I'm just so honored how big it's getting, how many people take it so seriously and play with their heart. It's
This would be the final match that Jonas would ever play. Jonas would stream for the last time on January 1st, 2021. Jonas and his wife Heather had made the decision to change their lifestyle and move to a small town in Hawaii named Kawa. His last stream was an IRL stream, showing his fans the new town he was living in and sharing his excitement for the new adventures ahead. On January 8th, 2021, Jonas's family shared an Instagram post with his fans, delivering the news that Jonas had passed away of a sudden, unknown medical emergency. The cause of death was later confirmed to be sudden cardiac arrhythmia. Many posts and videos were made paying tribute to Jonas, both for his achievements as a Tetris player and his character. After his death, the CTWC trophy was changed to a J Tetronimo piece and was renamed the Jonas Neubauer Memorial Trophy. A quote from a 2018 interview was engraved on the back of the trophy.
if you're a high visibility player,
Never
it's on
good
you.
fucking decision for my defense,
to be
it
in a
seems.
positive direction.
I do
The
believe
impact that
3
Jonas had on the
defenses is
Tetris
the way
community
to
was
go.
undeniable. He pioneered the scene with his incredible play and his inspiring passion for the
Especially
game.
when you break as hard as I do.
He became a global ambassador for the scene, traveling all around the world to educate and bring joy to people's lives through Tetris. Jonas was a role model, as a competitor, as a man, and as a husband. And now, 3 years on from his passing, NES Tetris has finally been beaten. And while he may not have been there to see it, we know that without Jonas, it would have never been possible in the first place. All we can truly say is thank you.
I think this is still the better defense over the other one. Black Wish is technically our best choice. Everything else is a little on the risky side.